Hi friends, it's Yana here today, and today I wanted to bring you another hack. I just did this dress the other day with a shirring bodice, and you know, I am obsessed with this shirring, method. It is so fun, it is so comfortable, it is so trendy for the summertime. So I wanted to make some pants that have a sheared waistband and that are kind of flowy and comfortable to wear like around town. You can dress up, you can dress out, and you can lounge in. Super comfy. So today I'm taking the Feel Pretty Pants pattern, which is for wovens, and I'm going to add a knit, I'm going to add a sheared waistband to them so they can be like a really fun loungy pair of pants. I'm also going to be widening the leg just a little bit so they're like super casual and comfy. I'm going to be using knit fabric, but obviously you can make this pattern in woven because it is meant for woven. I just happen to have this knit fabric, so I sized down one size and I'm going to be making it for this. So I'm super excited about it. Let's get started. All right, so time to cut the fabric, and actually this pattern is meant for woven, but I am using a knit fabric, so I just sized down to use the knit because I wanted to use this beautiful fabric and it's flowy, so I figured this would work just fine. I want the bottom of the leg to be a little bit wider, so as I'm cutting, I'm just going to widen out at the bottom just so it's more of a flowy fit at the bottom. And then for the waistband, I'll come back and talk to you about what I'm gonna do with that. Actually, let me tell you now. The only thing I'm doing is I'm going to measure my own waist and I'm going to times it by 1.5. And I'm not quite sure how big this waistband is. I think it's only a little bit bigger than my waist. This is probably only about a couple of inches bigger than your waist. So I'm going to do it by 1.5 because once I shear the waistband, it will shrink in and come in. And to me, 1.5 is the perfect width for the waistband to shrink at. I've done shearing before, and I like to grab whatever it is that I'm making and times it by 1.5 to bring it back in to its original size. So I'm going to measure my personal waist, and I'm going to times it by 1.5, and that's how long I'm going to make my waistband. Now this waistband here gets folded in half like so to become the waistband, so it's usually this width right here, but I want my sheared waistband to be a little bit wider, so I'm going to cut it the same width that this waistband is. But remember, we're going to get rid of seam allowance here at the top for the top of the waistband, and then the bottom is going to get hemmed, so it really will end up being about 1 inch shorter than this, also because there's some shrinkage. So I want that waistband to be a little bit taller, so I'm going to use this width, but the length I'm going to measure my waist and do 1.5. So that's what I'm doing. So let's cut all this. Now, as you can see, my pattern has been just cut all to pieces. I did do a tutorial on how to do a scalloped hem on these pants to make them scalloped hem short. So if you want to find that here on our YouTube channel, you can find that. I have it on here, but I'm just going to place them together. I do have to add length, so I'm going to be pulling it down, but that's all that this is. There's nothing, I didn't do anything different with the pattern. All right, the way that I'm going to do, sorry, I was trying to get it really even because I hope I have enough to do both legs. But the way that I'm going to do the bottom is, instead of, see how this tapers in here? Instead of tapering in, I'm going to go straight down. So that way it gives me just more of a flare straight pant leg. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go straight. Instead of going in, I'm going to go just straight line. So that's what I'm doing. Oh my word, look at how just perfect it was. Look at it, right here is where it ends. So I'm glad that I went ahead and was very, very close when I was cutting my fabric, or I would have been very upset because it wouldn't have reached. All right, for my waistband, I measured my waist and I'm making it 1.5 my waist. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about 1 inch for seam allowance here. And it's okay if I have to trim it later and make it shorter. I'd rather have to make it smaller than not have enough. So what I'll do is I'll sew it together. Before I actually attach it to my pants, I'll sew it together and try it on my waist and see how it fits. And then once I figure out if I want it tighter or whatever, then I'll attach my pants. So that will make it easy to figure out the sizing then. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to shear this waistband by, first of all, well, before I shear it, I'm going to hem the top hem. And then I'm going to shear it by like 1/2 inch lines all the way around. Now we do have a video on shearing that goes into really big detail here on our channel. So if you want to check that out. Also, I'm going to sew up my Feel Pretty pants just like they say on the pattern to sew them up. So we do have a video tutorial on how to sew those up. So I'll do that all quickly and then we'll come back to attach and see how it turns out. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and load my bobbin with the elastic thread. And I figured out not too long ago that I can actually do thread it on my machine instead of just hand thread it, which is what I've always done. The only thing is you have to make sure that the speed is very slow, set to very slow, and then you can do it that way. Now, I don't have a ton of elastic left, so we're going to see how much I can get done. If not, I'm going to have to run to the store and get some more. All right, before I actually shear this, I'm going to go ahead, like I said, hem the top. Now, because I am using a knit fabric, I'm only going to do a 1/2 inch fold over. But if you're using a woven fabric, I would do a 1/4 inch fold down and then another 1/4 inch fold down at the top to hem that top line. I want to hem it because I don't want it to, after I'm done shearing, like the fabric will be kind of gathered and it will be harder to hem. All right, as you can see, my waistband is sheared and it's basically the same width as the waistband that I have, my pattern piece. All I'm doing with the waistband now is I'm going to fold it right sides together and sew this raw edge here. And that is how I'm going to finish prepping the waistband to then attach to my pants once my pants are ready. To sew up my pants, I'm going to grab the 2 fronts and the 2 backs, and I'm going to sew the 2 fronts in right sides together at the crotch seam, and then the 2 backs right sides together also at the crotch seam. All right, so I am not attaching pockets to this pants, but you can attach pockets and you would do that now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach the inseam of the front and back pants together, right sides together, and the outer seam. So I'm like sewing them together. Now the last thing to do is to put it all together, put the waistband on. Well, put the waistband on and hem, and then we'll be done. So what we're going to do is our pants are already quartered, obviously, because they have the sides and the front and back, and our waistband is not. So we're going to mark, here's our side, we're going to mark our, well, this will be our back, we're going to mark our front, and then our sides by quartering it. And then we'll match it up right sides together. So we're gonna fit it right in here. All right, and now we just stretch to fit. So like I'll probably just do like a one here in the middle. So it kind of basically stretches out and it fits. And then as I sew it, I'm just kind of stretching it out so that it'll fit evenly. And this will, the elastic waistband will bring it in. At the end of my shear, I left myself like about, I probably left myself too much. If I find that I have a gap, like see how it's like almost a whole inch here and I only eat out like a 1/4 inch, I might go back in and do another row all the way around of shearing. I could have gone lower. So if you want to make sure that you go down and do that last row about, I don't know, a 1/2 inch to a 1/4 inch, depending on how much seam allowance you want to leave, you can do that. I didn't do that, but I'll just, at the end, if I need to, I'll just add another row there at the end and it'll be fine. I'm super excited about these. I think they're going to turn out adorable. All right, friends, we are almost done. And they are looking really good. They need to be hemmed because I did add length and I think I added a little too much. But once I hem them, I'm going to take out a little bit. And then once I hem them, I think they'll look good. I do like to usually add a lot of extra length because I am taller and sometimes pants tend to be a little bit short on me if I don't add the length. So I always want to add the length because I can always take it off. But I can't really add it once. Well, I guess I could, but it's harder to add. Anyway, but this is what's funny. They're really, really high-waisted, like literally super high-waisted. And it's my fault. Okay, so remember when I told you that the waistband, I made the waistband the width of the actual waistband, and I told you the waistband folds in half to create the smaller waistband? Well, I didn't account for that when I added this. So when the waistband didn't fold in half, now I got it coming all the way up to, you know, like really high up. So what I need to do is account for those 2.5 inches that the waistband would have been folded over, and take that off this bottom part of my pant. So if I grab my waistband and I overlap it like the 2.5 inches over my waistband, they fit right where I want it, right above my belly button, and they fit really, really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take off the waistband and I'm going to cut off like 2 inches of the rise of my pants and then attach the waistband right there. And I think that that should make it perfect because they look really good. Another thing I wish I would have done is I wish I would have put my pockets in, which I could do that now, but I don't know. I'll think about it later if I want to. There is a video here on my channel, on this channel, showing how to attach pockets to the side seam. So if you wanted to do that later, plus this pattern does come with pockets, so I mean you could do that. But anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm gonna go and unattach this waistband, cut the 2 inches off, and attach it again. So it's just exactly what I did. So when you make just make sure that you account for that. And then I'm going to come back and show you just exactly what they look like. But I'm super excited because they are looking so good. I love them. All right, last but not least, I'm going to hem the bottom, and then while I'm at it, I'm also going to top stitch the waistband down at the right here where the waistband meets the seam. I'm going to top stitch that down to kind of bring that down the seam right here. You don't have to do that, but I want to do it. And then here at the back where I have this serger edge coming out, I'm going to fold that over and do a zigzag stitch over it to hide that, and we'll be all done. All right, friends, we are finished with these pants. I think they turned out super cute. They're just high-waisted enough. They're not like super high-waisted. I took about 2.5 inches. If you want them more high-waisted, you could take less. If you want them less high-waisted, then you can just make the waistband smaller. I wouldn't take more off of the rise because then they'll be like really low rise. But I think that this was perfect. They are hemmed perfectly. I wanted them to be a little bit long so I could still wear like a little bit of a wedge, and they still fit really well. I think they turned out so great. I'm definitely going to be making more of these. I love them. I hope you love this tutorial. Please comment, like, share, subscribe. Let me know if you're going to be doing this tutorial, if you're going to be doing this with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!